And maybe just since we're on that and we're on graft, on page 10 of the Standard, we also have a development in regards to NYS 1, what you've referred to. And apparently, there are 4 governors. Okay, this is not necessarily to do with NYS, but there are 4 governors to face arrest over corruption. That's on page 10 of the Standard. Mheshimiwa, there seems to be a wind of change. Don't you agree with, first of all, we have the arrests that were done, quite a number. I think it was 39 who had been arrested. We had, on top of that, a directive from the government for all those involved in procurement, the heads of procurement, to be vetted, although that has been put on hold now by the court. Now we also have this 4 governors to face graft. This is according to the EACC. Do you think this is a wind of change, or is it purely cosmetic?
Well, I do sympathize with the president, first of all, because I think he's well-intentioned. But if we do not give him the necessary support, he's likely to be fatigued and he may run out of breath. Because when you look at the issue, although it is now a matter in court of the procurement officers, these are the people involved in the supply chain. And if you are dealing with this supply chain, it is actually a chain, as you know. And therefore, it means there must be somewhere this chain begins and where it ends.
Correct.
And it reminds me, when we were young, we used to fight termites by just spreading some ashes around the house so that they don't get to the house. Only to realize much later, as I grew up, that you needed to dig the mold and remove the queen so that the termites cannot multiply again around your house. Now, what the president needs to do is to look at what is the closest mold next to his house, so that he can dig and remove the queen that is bearing the termites that are consuming the entire fabric of our society.
Correct.
In terms of corruption. Now, the second issue that we really need to look at in terms of corruption is, as long as we are still making corruption a twin brother of the tribe, we are not likely to succeed.
Will not win that fight.
Mheshimiwa, Michael, I just want to engage you on one quick question, and that is, a number of people have said it's time we disband the EACC. Are you of the same school of thought?
No, it's a question of what is the psyche. You see, anti-corruption is given the power to investigate. But there is no clear nexus between investigation and prosecution. And there is no clear interface between the office of the DPP and the anti-corruption authority. You see, what is happening is that we must be all systems go.
Right.
Every arm of government must support the other. And that's the only way we can win war on corruption. Otherwise, we'll be blaming ICC, we disbanded. Next time, remove the DPP. Next time, Chief Justice is not doing its work. And it is going to be blame game. And remember what Governor Kraito said one time, that corruption fights back.
Right.
And it fights back in different forms. It can actually be taking us on merry-go-round. And we spend time blaming this institution, the other institution. But unless we remove from our psyche, national psyche, the issue of corruption, and we see anybody corrupt as somebody alienated from our society, corruption is going to be with us for many years to come.
All right. And